Does it make sense for you to become a BCABA in 2026? Let's talk about it. I highly recommend that you follow my TikTok page that is called BCABA Tipster and my Facebook group if you are pursuing or currently an active BCABA, also called BCABA Tipster. Now let's get into the episode. So, I only recommend this route if you are currently in your undergrad program. If you're going to graduate next year and you're currently enrolled in your undergrad program, then it does make sense for you to pursue the ABA track if you have enough credits available because it is 6 courses. Now, if you're going to graduate after 2026, then that means you have to take the 5 courses, which is the updated BCABA 2027 courses outline. So I only recommend it if you're currently in school. If you already have your bachelor's degree, then no, it does not make sense for you to do it because again, these are university-based courses. So it's not just going to cost a few $100s. These are like between I think the highest I heard was $11,000 for just the 6 courses alone, not even the behavioral, not even the bachelor's degree. So if you already have your bachelor's degree, then I recommend that you work similar BCABA roles that I've posted on this channel here or on my TikTok page. Now, let's say if you're currently in your master's degree program and you want to pursue the BCABA track, let me advise you this. During a few interviews that I've done with a couple of BCABAs that are currently enrolled in their graduate program to become BCBAs, they informed me that they were able to sit in for the BCABA exam and their hours for them to become BCBAs rolled over. So they took the BCBA courses in their graduate program. This is the 6 courses here. They finished out their courses. They had 1,000+ hours and they were able to sit in for the BCABA exam. And after they got that certification, they worked as BCABAs and still accruing more hours for them to become BCBAs. Once they graduate, they can sit in for the BCBA exam. And I did not see anything on the BACB website so far that, stated that they cannot do this because if the BACB approved them to do this while they're currently in their graduate program to sit in for that BCABA exam, that means that you can do it because there's a whole form that you have to fill out. You have to send out your transcripts. You have to send out your bachelor's degree because you don't have your master's yet, but you do have your bachelor's. So you got to send that out plus your fieldwork hours. So if they approved it, that means you can do it. So many people are being robbed from this opportunity because they think that, oh, being a BCABA is a waste of time. Yet, so many RBTs that are currently in their master's program are having a hard time finding hours, those unrestricted hours, y'all, for them to pursue this BCBA route, which is exactly why the 2 people that I've interviewed, they said them becoming a BCABA was the best decision they ever made because not only that they earn more money, but they were able to obtain those unrestricted activities because that was their job. So their hours were being done way quicker than them staying as an RBT. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room that everybody always wants to come in my comments, talking about insurance, talking about companies are not hiring for this role. Let's just talk about it with facts. So yes, there are insurances that are not funding the BCABA role, but this is not happening nationwide. This depends on the state, and a lot of them are private insurances. So I won't go over the difference between, private, commercial, whatever the heck. Because I don't, listen, y'all, I'm not a billing specialist. I mean, even when I'm looking at Google, I'm like, okay, cool. But, which insurance reimburses for BCABAs? But I don't look at that entirely. I look at what is happening in the field. What are the current trends when it comes on Indeed? Yes, insurance plays a role. Yes, it does. But for someone who's not 100% familiar with a different type of insurance, I just look at, are y'all hiring or not? That's just what I look at. And on Indeed, I'm seeing so many board certified assistant behavior analyst role across the states. And yes, there are some states that pays more, or I should say there's some states that hires more than others. And you can look here on the screenshot that I pulled up from the BACB website. There's like, I would say this: Florida, if you look on Indeed, Florida is always hiring for BCABAs. Arizona is hiring for BCABAs. California is hiring for BCABAs. I mean, there's so many states hiring for the assistant behavior analyst role. So if those companies, and when I say state, I'm just saying like the companies that are hiring in that particular state. Okay, let me just clarify myself here. If those companies are hiring in that state for BCABAs, that means they're still being reimbursed for that position. So maybe in some insurances, right, some insurance providers are not reimbursing BCABAs, but doesn't mean that all insurance is not reimbursing, because if that was the case, why would there be jobs posted on Indeed? That's what I'm just trying to get at. I'm like, everyone that wants to keep saying insurance is not reimbursing, listen, y'all, they've been saying this for the past 3 years. This is when I just started working as an RBT. Back in 2022, an ABA business owner told me the same thing. And yes, there was a decrease in the year of 2022 for jobs requiring or preferring the certification, but there was a whole increase that happened between 2023 and 2024. That's why I show you guys the stats. And the BACB never removed this certification. This certification's been around since the 1900s. They never removed it. If anything, they updated the requirements for you to become BCABAs. So I don't see where insurance is going to remove this role. So my thing is this: if jobs are still posted, that means it's not a dead career. And again, we always want to look for the alternatives of how they're rewriting this position, because some companies, they don't hire for BCABA particularly, but they're hiring for a clinical supervisor or a program supervisor or a program director, so they always switching up this title role. And then if you have that BCABA certification, you are qualified to work in that position, even if it's not in ABA. Like, it could be in a whole different field, but because you have skills that is needed that or qualifies you for that position, you can work as that. You don't have to stay as a BCABA. So it does make sense for you to become a BCABA if you're trying to level up your skills. Because let me tell you something. Many RBTs, and I was one, so I'm not saying any hate. I'm not saying RBTs are not valuable, but I'm saying our skills only transfer us to another position that requires us to implement. We can't even supervise. We can't even train a staff. We can't even do any supervisory roles because we lack leadership skills in leading a team. So you, as a BCABA, you have those skills that you can transfer to other fields and higher positions with your bachelor's degree that is salary based. So I only recommend this role if, again, you're currently enrolled in school and you want to level up your skills, because that's what companies are looking for: higher skills, education, and skills. So I know I said a lot on this video, y'all, but the only reason I'm encouraging people about this is because we have been so misinformed and so discouraged to become BCABAs. And the BACB is encouraging people to get a higher certification. That's why they made it easier for you to obtain your fieldwork hours. They decreased the supervised hours, like the concentrated route, they decreased it from 1,000 to 800. They even increased the amount of hours you can obtain monthly from 130 to 160, because they want people to pursue a higher certification. They want people to gain competency. So I always say this: never listen to someone that only works at your current employment, right? Whatever company you're working with, and and only at your home state. Like you're only receiving information what's happening in your own familiar environment. Because especially when it comes with companies, these managers and BCBAs included, these managers only care about their company's needs. They're not really seeing what's going on elsewhere. Okay. And if they do see what's going on elsewhere, they're trying to see how can I better my company. So they only give you information based on what they feel is valuable for their company, and that's it. I'm giving you information based on what's valuable to you and to help you advance. And if you see that your state is not hiring for BCABA specifically, then you can always relocate to a state that does. And I only say this for the BCABA role because this role already provides you pay increase and pay security. So yeah, I would never tell an RBT to relocate. I've done that before and it was the worst decision of my life because of these client cancellations and no reimbursement. But as a board certified assistant behavior analyst, you have more opportunities to get salary based positions and higher pay. So definitely lock in on this role.